Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. Today we are finishing up the chapter 6 of the Gospel of St. Mark. This is the series of the 4 Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which cover the life of Jesus. Okay, we got red letters here. So it's Matthew, Mark, Luke. So we go back to Mark. And we are in chapter 6. And we are talking today about one of the biggest miracles Jesus ever performed. And you're going to say, well, Myra, he raised Lazarus from the dead. He resurrected himself. He resurrected Janus's daughter. But this is one of the most politically significant miracles. This is what Rome feared. Now, when Jesus took the demons out of the man and put them in pigs, and those 2,000 pigs ran over the cliff, that was also a political message to Rome, because in the area that he performed that miracle in, there were 2,000 Romans. So that was a message to Rome. Jesus did not, and had no intention of hiding his light under a barrel. We as Christians should not do that either. We should emulate the life of Christ. And he didn't have any problems telling the Pharisees and Sadducees and the Romans or Herod or any other government official or king the truth. And this miracle shows the depth of his power. So we're in chapter 6. We're going to start in verse 30. And the apostles gathered themselves together unto Jesus and told him all things, both what they had done and what they had taught. So Jesus had sent the disciples out to different cities and towns to preach and perform miracles. And he said unto them, Come ye yourselves, depart from the desert place, and rest a while. For there were many coming and going, and they had no leisure so much as to eat. And they departed unto a desert place by ship privately, and the people saw them depart, and many knew him, and ran afoot thither out of all the cities, and outwent them, and they came together unto him. And Jesus, when he came out and saw many people, and moved with compassion towards them, because they were not as sheep, not having a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. So here they had tried to leave the area, go on a boat, and go somewhere to rest. But prior to this, Jesus had sent all the disciples out to perform miracles. And they had performed miracles. So word had spread. And people wanted to see Jesus and his disciples so bad that they went to this remote place to follow them. And when Jesus saw all the people that came, he was moved and began to teach them. And when the day was now far spent, his disciples came unto him and said, This is a desert place, and now the time is far past. Send them away, that they may go into the country around and about, into the villages, and buy themselves bread, for they have nothing to eat. He answered unto them and said, Give ye them to eat. And they said unto him, Shall we go and buy 200 pennyworth of bread, and give them to eat? And he said unto them, How many loaves have ye? Go and see. And when they knew, they said, 5, and 2 fishes. And he commanded them to make all sit down by companies upon the green grass. And they sat down in rank by hundreds, by 50s. And when he had taken the 5 loaves and 2 fishes, he looked up to heaven, and blessed and broke the loaves, and gave them to his disciples, and set before them, and the 2 fishes divided among them all. And they did all eat, and were filled. And they took up 12 baskets full of fragments and of the fishes. And they that did eat of the loaves were about 5,000 men. By 5,000 men, those men had wives and children and mothers and sisters. So this was 5,000 families. Now, some of the men might have been there alone, but many of the men probably had their families with them. So they fed way more than 5,000. They fed 5,000 families. So after that, they went straight away. He constrained his disciples to get into the ship and to go to the other side before unto Bethsaida, where he sent away the people. So after this, after dinner, they dispersed, and Jesus and the disciples got into the ship and went to another location, or were on their way to another location. And the rest of chapter 6 will be read for next week. But just think about how Rome, how Herod, how the Pharisees and Sadducees would have reacted to this. Yet, he had compassion for the people, and he fed them. Have a wonderful and blessed day.